Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all participants and speakers. Thank you for making your time attending our session today. Together with us today, 3 recipients of YPASM research grant that will share their experience in writing their proposal, securing their collaborators, as well as, and 2 of them will share their experience in their expedition to Antarctica. We will start with a brief information about YPASM opportunities that we can offer. And then we will continue the session with presentation and sharing session by Dr. Wan Muhammad Rauhan from Faculty of Fisheries and Food Science, University Malaysia Terengganu. He is also the Deputy Director of National Antarctic Research Centre that is based in UMT. Then we will continue the session with Dr. Nurul Huda Ahmad Ishaq from Faculty of Science and Marine Environment, UMT. And our last speaker is Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Muhammad Zahim Sujud from Faculty of Engineering and Electronics Engineering and Technology, University Malaysia Pahang Al Sultan Abdullah. Let me share my screen. So just a bit information about YPASM. We are under purview of Ministry of Natural Resource, Environment and Climate Change, and NERC, National Antarctic Research Centre, which is hosted by UM and UMT. And also steering committee that is represented by another 8 universities that is participating in Smart Partnership Initiative. Okay, so there are 3 types of funding that we offered, which is research grant, fellowship scheme, and birth support to research station in Antarctica. So since 2012, YPASM has funded 50 grants, 13 fellowship schemes, and 14 birth support amounted more than 9 million. This is the distribution of research fund to universities from 2012, way before we started Smart Partnership Initiative in 2016 until 2013. And number of research grant application from 2013 to 2023. So as you can see, last year we have the most application number, 37, and we awarded 8. Right. Just for information, we are going to have our 10 Malaysian International Seminar on Antarctica, MISA 10 next year, which will be held on 14 to 15 May 2024 in Bangi Resort Hotel, Selangor. This seminar will be hosted by UKM and YPASM and NRC. So if you would like to know more about research available in polar research, you can join us. Just go to our website, to MISA website, www.ukm.my/misa. And this is one of the opportunities that our researchers can benefit from. We have invited PetroScience have invited YPASM to participate in their week special thematic exhibition in December. And we got offered under session meet and expert talk and booth from 16 to 24 December 2023. So that will be a few of our researchers will contribute and will be there. So just a reminder, our application deadline is 31st December 2023, except for birth support to Antarctica under BAS British Antarctic Survey. the deadline would be 22nd December 2023. So this is because the official announcement will be made during Misa 10, and the recipient would be awarded by YPASM patron ke bawah Deli Yang Maha Mulia Sultan Mizan Sana Abidin during Misa 10. Right. So I pass the screen. Sorry. There are some important notes for this year's applicant. We have included a few new information in our guidelines this year, including like 3 to 5 minutes video compilation of your expedition if you are going for expedition. And then the application form, we required an acknowledgement from RMC of respective universities. Okay. That's all from me. I'll pass the screen to Dr. Rauhan. Dr. Rauhan, please.
Yes, thank you, Puan Intan. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, firstly, thank you YPASM for organizing this sharing session. And also thank you to NARC, the director of NARC, Dr. Siti Aisyah, for the initiative, and for everyone for turning up. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, as Puan Intan mentioned just now, I'm gonna talk about the my experience in applying the fellowship and also the YPASM research grant. So it all started in 2012 when the Yayasan Pendidikan Antarctica Sultan Mizan, or YPASM, was launched, and it was in UMT in July 2012. And I was one of the 3 recipients for the fellowship. That time there was only fellowship, there was no research grant yet. And in the application, my proposal was to study on the benthic organisms or benthos, to see the benthic community under different climate condition. And in what I mean by climate condition is glacier melting. So the study was about how glacier retreat that brings together the sediment particles and and also the fresh water into the seawater system, that how it affects the benthic organisms. And since Malaysia has no research station in Antarctica, so therefore, to be able to carry out research in Antarctica, we have to have collaborators from any country that has a station in Antarctica. So that how the challenge began after finish my proposal and getting the grants, the fellowship. So now the challenge came up to find a collaborator, and after searching, sending emails to everyone that I think can be a compliment to me, or maybe same research expertise, I found a prominent researcher from Korea Polar Research Institute, Dr. An In Yang. She is retired now, and she is the first Korean woman scientist that went to Antarctica since 1990 something. And she invited me to present my proposal in Kopi Incheon in July 2013. And after 2 days discussion, she agreed to bring me along to Antarctica in December 2013 until February 2014. So the journey begins at this time, because maybe it's gonna be different. Dr. In Yang has a big grant, so she paid everything for me from Kuala Terengganu to Antarctica. So I didn't pay anything. And then in Antarctica for 2 months and a half, also I didn't pay anything to stay in Antarctica. So the journey began from KL, Terengganu Post to Sydney, Santiago, Punta Arenas, and Antarctica. So from Punta Arenas, we took a chartered flight to a Chilean-based station in West Antarctic Peninsula. It was 2 hours flight. And the King Sedion Station is around 20 to 30 minutes journey by rubber dinghy or rubber boat from the Chilean base. This is some of the buildings in King Sedion Station. On the left-hand side is the main building where the overwintering members reside. And on the left-hand side here is the dormitories and also the labs for scientists. And this is some of the pictures of my research team, the cooperative research team. So we did some diving, not myself, but just the professional divers took all the samples, videos, and also bring the specimens to the lab for processing. And this is what it's like in King Sedion Station. It is quite a big and very convenient station. It has a library, a clinic, and also we have daily meals. They provide 2 cooks, so we don't need to worry about what to eat. Don't need to worry about to cook by ourselves because they are all prepared. The meals are prepared 3 times a day by the cooks. And that was the first time. And since the first one, everything was paid by the Korean, so I managed to go second time to Antarctica, and this time together with 7 other Malaysian scientists. And the route was also different, and it was by a yacht. So this is the yacht. It is a small yacht that can accommodate only up to 10 people, including crews, 3 crews. So it was if by the plane it was through Punta Arenas, but by the yacht it was through Ushuaia. So Ushuaia is a southernmost town in Argentina. So the journey or voyage took 3.5 days to reach Antarctic Peninsula. So the advantages of using the yacht is because it's small yacht and it's easy to get around Antarctica. So we managed to go to many stations. Unlike if we stay in one station, we only can do something in that area. But with the yacht, we managed to go around further up or further down. But unfortunately, because the yacht is not a icebreaker, so we only managed to complete half of the area that we wanted to sample. So because of there was so many floating ice that the yacht cannot go fast through. And this is a short video. Maybe play some fast forward some parts of the our expedition, our journey from Kuala Lumpur to Santiago to Ushuaia, and then to Antarctica. So we went together with Sharo, Saimi, from YPASM, the phone from YPASM, and then to go from BKM. So this is what it was like in the yacht. Of course, the video was captured during when it was there was no big waves coming up, and this is when we arrived in Sedion Station for a short stay, 2 nights. This is a small lab, or they call it igloo, in Sedion Station for sample processing, wet sample or specimen processing. So this is what I've mentioned just now about the floating ice. Eventually, the skipper decided that we cannot proceed, so we have to find another islands as a substitute for our original stations. Okay, this video made by Mr. Hilal, students of Dr. Mahadi and Dr. Saslina from USN. Okay, and these are some of the outputs from the first fellowship publication and appearance on national television, the media, and also the outreach program with YPASM. As one in mentioned this now, as a recipient, it was not obligatory at that time, but I think this is as I'm obliged to giving back to the society and also to YPASM to promote polar science to especially to the school students. And a new opportunity came up in 2019. I applied for YPASM research grant under the Smart Partnership Initiative. And also this time was still on the benthic ecosystem, and how I wrote this proposal is to answer the 80 most important scientific questions. You can Google these questions on SCAR website or Scientific Community of Antarctic Research website, and then we are advised to make our proposal in line with this question. We don't need to answer all the questions. There are so many questions, 8 questions, but just a few questions so that our research is not too far away from the direction of the SCAR. And this time, again, I collaborate with Dr. An and also together with Dr. Barnes and so Prof. Kuklinski from Polish Science. And this is so far the progress. We managed, although I haven't got the opportunity yet to go to Antarctica under this grant because of the COVID-19. This is some of the progress. Myself and collaborators managed to analyze some samples from Dr. Barnes, and we have submitted this to Marine Environmental Research, and this is pending for acceptance after we make some corrections. And in the meantime, we also try to model one of the organisms, the Antarctic starfish, the Glabsterester antarctica, and to see the projection of until 2025 to 2012, what are the environmental conditions that affect most on this distribution of this predator. And to be able to go to Antarctica, I was looking for another collaborators. I contacted these 3 researchers, Dr. Rivers from Argentina, Dr. Attila Yilmaz from Turkey, and also Gabo Angelo. All of them are from countries that have research station in Antarctica. But unfortunately, it wasn't successful after negotiation. But I did manage to pair, to get them to collaborate with my colleague up to the point that they agreed to be a collaborator in my colleague's application for last year's research grant. But because they didn't manage to secure the grant, so the project is still pending. And finally, I found, again, the Korean, Dr. Ha San-yong agreed to accept me to his team to go to Antarctica. And initially, he offered me 5 person to come together, to go together. But when I asked around, there was no other people who has the funding to go to Antarctica. And then that's eventually I just can only bring my student Najib with me. So the upcoming Antarctic sampling will be again in 3-second session, and the collaborator is Ha San-yong, and we will be recording seabed surface using video attached on the rubber dinghy to assess the benthic organisms by functional group. And lab sampler will also be provided for free for King's Union Station to collect and investigate sediment characteristics. Then for us study glacier melting as proxy of global warming, and to model the impact of climate change on benthic functions. What are the functions of, for example, the feeding strategies or their body forms that are most prone to the climate change or global warming. So the Antarctic sampling, the upcoming sampling, I haven't bought the ticket yet, but there are a few options. These are the two options that I'm thinking of, to go from Kuala Lumpur through Dubai, and then to Santiago and to Punta Arenas. And the other second option is from Kuala Lumpur to Paris, and then to Los Angeles, Santiago, and Punta Arenas. And the ticket, as it is now, is between 11 to 18,000. And from Punta Arenas to Antarctica, there will be chartered flight. Normally travel together, Korean, Chinese, and whoever have the stations near, like Ukrainian, Japanese. So the chartered flight will cost around 20K for return ticket to Antarctica. It'll be only a 2 hours flight, but it costs 20K. And I think it'll be around, sorry, not 20K, 2K, USD 2,000. So it's around 20K Malaysian ringgit. So strategies to get a collaborator, how to get to Antarctica, and also the samples handling. Finding collaborators is the first step that we must do after we submit the proposal, or maybe way before that, try to find a collaborator. If you manage to do some pilot study first with your collaborator, I think that will be much better, and your proposal will be much more valuable. And collaborators should be from SCA member countries. There are so many SCA member countries that have the station in Antarctica. And the collaboration of a collaborator can also be found through NARC. So as Intan mentioned this now, NARC, the director is Dr. Siti from UM, and myself as deputy director, and we have a steering committee from various universities in smart partnership and head of groups. So hopefully we can help the recipient or anyone who wanted to do some research in Antarctica to get you, or to direct you to get a potential collaborator. Here is the international collaboration under SCA, under NARC. So we can see here COPI and IPR Japan, NCAOR India, INAC Chile, AADD Australia, and also ANZ New Zealand. There are so many countries, or so many potential that you can think of to find a collaborator after this. And how to get to Antarctica, apart from through Punta Arenas or Ushuaia, which is at the on the west side of Antarctica. There is also option to go through Cape Town, Queen's Mountain to Troll Station in Norway, and another one that is as popular as the King George Island in West Antarctica is Ross Island. Ross Island, where the Scott base is. Scott base was the station when Sultan Mizan went to Antarctica. McMurdo Station, KC Station, Australia. This is going to be through Hobart or Christchurch. I believe that the Huda will talk about this station, the East Antarctic Peninsula, East Antarctica. So samples handling, whoever doing research or going to do research in Antarctica, one of the challenges is to get the permit to bring back the samples. To get a permit to do sampling in Antarctica is not that difficult, because you just apply for the permit from any countries in Antarctic Treaty. But to get a permit from our government to bring back the sample is a lengthy process, and it's very difficult. and sometimes eventually you end up with no permit at all. So if you want to less hassle option, you can think about the process sample in Antarctica and send to your collaborators' home country. For example, if I'm doing with research with Korean, with Kopri, so I can send the samples to Kopri in Incheon, and then use the grant money to travel to Kopri after a few months to analyze the samples. That one of the options that if you don't want to start in the permit application process. So I think that's all. And here are some final notes for Antarctica. So I think everyone knows or everyone has the motivation why we want to do this Antarctica. One of them is part of our responsibility. And proposal to get tips from experienced researchers. I showed just now the slides of the NRC. There are a few or many experienced Malaysian researchers who has been to Antarctica maybe more than 5 times. Dr. Siti herself, I think, been to Antarctica 7 times. And collaboration, this is a must. So never submit proposal without collaboration, and what kind of collaborators that you want to get. So maybe the first thing is to get collaborators that can be assurance that he or she can bring you to Antarctica next season. So that will be much better for your proposal, or at least if you want to start with doing some collaborative works beforehand with the collaborator, I think that would be much better too. Okay, I think that's all from me. Just a little bit of experience, and thank you very much. I pass this through to Puan Intan. Or maybe there's this Q&A session first.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rahan. Is there
Okay,
any
I welcome
questions?
anyone who wants to ask or anything about the application or maybe the travel to Antarctica.
Any questions?
Can I have questions?
Yes, please.
Here is Peter from UMT. I have a question about logistic in terms of I have opportunity in to collaborate with Bellinghausen Polar Station in West Antarctica, but I'm slightly worried about current situation with US dollar fluctuation because I double check the prices for the flight tickets, and it's like up and down. So yeah, I'm just asking if there is if it's possible some alternative, like if I'm not saying it will happen, but if in the worst of the case alternative, like for example northern Siberia, if not Antarctica but some other polar areas. I'm not saying it will happen, but just asking for our alternative plan.
Dr. Peter Hadenite. Okay, thank you for the question. So you have the potential collaboration with German, right?
Russia.
Russia. Okay, and so yeah, I understand about the situation about the USD and compared to our Malaysian ringgit right now, and then the flight ticket is very, very expensive now. But I think if you about to write a proposal now, I think that should be okay because you can allocate some of the money for. So now you can make some get some information and then put some allocation on the travel so that you won't end up with not enough money to go to Antarctica. Yeah, of course the travel is a bit hassle, and then I can't think of the too many options or too many cheap options. But as I mentioned, I showed just now the price ticket, the roughly
Yes.
price ticket is based on the cheaper routes. Not a direct flight buying from one airline company, but a few airline company.
The Russian partner, he offered me for 500 USD round ticket. One-time ticket for 100 USD, but it is with military flight.
Flight.
Chilean army.
They'll save you a lot of money because chartered flight, if it's a normal flight, chartered flight from Punta Arenas to Antarctica, the cost is more or less similar to the cost from Kuala Lumpur to Punta Arenas.
Yeah, I know.
So if you can save that, I think large chunk of money, then
it's one possibility, but it's not guaranteed.
And another thing, if you can discuss earlier, you can ask if they have any grant to support you, your ticket from Kuala Lumpur or wherever to Antarctica, to Punta Arenas, because it happened to me before. But in Antarctica, you don't have to worry about it, because normally all stations, every station, you don't have to pay anything, unless maybe one or two stations in British Antarctic Survey under some program. But most of the stations you don't have to pay. You stay there, you're gonna get all the hospitalities free of charge.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Dr. Wen, and I have some question. Can I ask?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I am from the Department of Geology, Faculty of Science. And previous to this, I was in India, and I was a good collaboration with NCPOR. And I did one a project with them working on the diatoms associated with the moss in Antarctica. So, but currently I am also a collaborator with the University of Tasmania, Antarctic Institute of Antarctic Studies. So they are working on the sediments DNA of the Antarctic krills. So is it compulsory if I put a proposal under the research grant of YPASM? So is it compulsory to go to Antarctic and have to visit Antarctic, or through our collaborators I can get the samples and work in Malaysia? Is it allowed?
Thank you, Dr. Arindam.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe this is not, maybe Puan Intan can correct me if I'm wrong. It is not compulsory to go to Antarctica, because the grant is not too much, it's 150K only. So they're not force you to go to Antarctica. You can be creative to get the samples. Maybe go to Tasmania and then get the samples, process samples, or analyze the samples there without going to Antarctica. You can have your collaborator or your colleagues to get the samples to you.
Yeah, and is it compulsory to have some Malaysian researcher in the, because I'm not a Malaysian, so I'm a foreigner working in So I heard from someone that a Malaysian is needed to be in the project.
Yes. Yeah, this is
one.
Yes,
that is okay. That is okay, no problem. But if he is the PI, then he if he is not from working in Antarctic, be involved in.
Maybe Puan Intan can answer this after this about this about the requirement.
Okay.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Arindam.
Yes.
The main eligibility criteria is for PI, it must be Malaysian or PR, a permanent resident as the PI. So you can be the project member.
But PI
must be Malaysian or PR.
that is okay, but the
Yeah.
PI must be working in Antarctic because he don't have any earlier experience in Antarctic research.
It's not compulsory, but I believe
Better
might
to pick
affect
someone.
the evaluation by the panel
Okay.
reviewer. That
Okay,
would
okay,
be
then
the
it's okay. I
yeah.
will contact someone who is related to
Yeah.
the Antarctic research. That's better. Yeah, I will talk to Dr. Shiva then. Okay, thank you very much.
Can I also respond to question by Dr. Peter just now? I think he mentioned something about other than Antarctic, can he also go to other polar region, which refers to Arctic? The answer is yes. You can also do research in Arctic, the North Pole, or even in the Southern Ocean, not necessarily Antarctic only. So you can do both, can be North or the South Pole, Arctic and Antarctic. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, any more question for Dr. Rauhan? Okay. If there are other question, maybe we can move to our second speaker, Dr. Nurul Huda Ahmad Ishaq from UMT.
Okay, thank you.
And then we will, if you still have any other question, you can leave your comment on the chat box. We will read after at the end of this session. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Huda.
Okay. Can I just share my screen now? Can you see this well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. First of all, thank you, Intan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hello, everyone. I'm Nurul Huda from University Malaysia Terengganu, same university with Dr. Rauhan. So today I'll be sharing my experience on applying for YPASM Research Fund and the expedition to Antarctica. So I was the recipient for YPASM Research Grant 2020. And then I was understood that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was understood that among other recipients that participate in the cruise, I was the only one who didn't stepped my feet on the ground of the Antarctic continent. So in my defense, it is because the nature of my study, I work on the sea because I'm a biological oceanographer. Okay, to start it off, this is it's my field of expertise is biological oceanography, focusing on marine zooplankton. So actually in the proposal, I was proposing to study the effects of climate change on salps. So these salps is gelatinous zooplankton. They're very sensitive to environment, and their reproduction allows them to bloom when triggered. These are the samples collected from the previous cruise that was carried out in last January. And then apart from that, I also worked on other marine zooplankton, marine copepods. They can be regarded as insects of the seas because they're extensive number in the ocean. Also, for information, these copepods is not from the same species. They're all different. So, sorry, this is not that clear. So the table of contents. So this is, today I'll be talking about, I'll be telling you stories of why did I apply for the grant, and how did I manage to get devoted collaborators, if I can say that, and also hiccups along the way, and also how did I manage to get there, and then be here. So it's pretty straightforward and simple. Okay, to start it off, I did my PhD at Institute for Marine and Antarctic Studies, Tasmania, Australia. But it's just that my PhD is not related to Antarctic at all. So I did research at Storm Bay, Tasman Sea. But this aurora australis is docked like tied up at a wharf, literally situated literally next to my school. So every day when I look through the window, I'll see these rural Australians calling me to go to Antarctica. All right. And then although I did study Antarctic, for my PhD, I did a lab analysis at Australian Antarctic government. And this is where, the feeling is surreal, because I managed to get to know people who work at Antarctic, and also to see where they kept the samples and how the samples like. And then after 4 years of my PhD, back to UMT. And then at that time, UMT is not listed as Smart Partnership Initiative YPASM. And then also at that time, I thought that only universities that listed can only apply for the grant. So what did I do? I just participated the cruise organized by UMT. So there were several cruise I've participated, and these are some of the team members during the cruise. So yeah, and then after that, I went for a postdoctoral training at the University of Tokyo for 2 years. This is where I think I have to grab every opportunity I had. So I did participate a summer cruise, a 3-week summer cruise at the Northwestern Pacific Ocean in 2019. And then this is where it starts actually. If you still remember my supervisor, who's based at University of Tasmania, Australia. So she had an attachment at NIPR Tokyo, Japan. And then I met her. I discussed if there's any potential of collaboration between her NIPR, the place where she had her attachment, and me. And then she knew how long I had been holding this interest on the Antarctic cruise. So she then introduced me to one of her colleagues here. So then in early 2020, this is where I wrote the research proposal, just to share with you some of the notes I think is valuable. I haven't been there, so obviously, so I studied the route of the previous Antarctic cruise from the NIPR collaborators, and then the type of plankton net used, because you know how many plankton nets are there, and then other instruments used for environmental parameters, so that I get the idea of designing my project. And then I also checked the collaborators' background, because I didn't know this fella from the NIPR, I only know my supervisor, so that I know where to fit in. And then I think this is one of the crucial part, just like Dr. Rauhan mentioned just now. It is about estimating the budget. So things clear, I asked the collaborators the patrolling cost for 1 month cruise, the duration of the cruise, if there's any trial cruise for this Japanese collaborators. They have this trial cruise in Japan for 2 weeks. So I have to include that in the budget. And then we decided to have analysis to be carried out at IMS, and also other things that I should know. Right? So I hope the collaborators, inform me things that I should know. So also, we all understood that for this grant, YPASM research grant, it's only the PI that is allowed to go to the Antarctic, the cruise. But then I really hope that my potential PhD students will be able to get the chance. So I asked the NIPR if there's any sponsorship that can be given to my student. And then last but not least, I think this is the very important thing, to making sure everyone knew what to do. When I said everyone, it means the collaborators. It's me, the Japanese collaborator, and also the Australian, because it is very important, and you will know why. So you know that in the proposal, it states that we have to have collaborators and also the agreement from them. So I had this, this is one of the example of the letter of agreement by international collaborators. So we make it official. I believe everyone did this as well. And then just like what Dr. Rohan mentioned just now, and echoing to what Dr. Siti had mentioned on November 7th, I included this in my proposal. There are 80 questions listed in the final list of questions. And the proposal, I include some answers to the number of questions listed in Horizon scan. So if I'm not mistaken, I did answer 5 to 6 questions and compile it in significance of studies of my project. And then I also included the significance of the study in terms of economy, social, and other perspective, because I think this is very important. And again, if you refer to the previous sharing by NARC, you can see that climate change issues are one of the factors that need to be highlighted. Of all, I'm not sure if there are 6 or 8 factors, but climate change issues is one of it. So I have this component in my proposal. And then, finally, I received the grant in 2020. So this time, when I received this grant, it was during the MCO event, in Malaysia. And then I forwarded the results to the collaborators. And then this is where it happens when he mentioned that the voyage to Southern Ocean or Antarctic Ocean has been cancelled. And then, so here I only attach one email, but actually there, after the 6 months after this email, there are another email stating that other cruise was also postponed. So yeah, so this is because Japan has their state of emergency declared as well. And then to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep for a month because of this, because the project has been awarded. But then I realized that these things are beyond our control, and there's no point of regretting or whining. So what did I do? All the problems, issues were made official. I asked help from the collaborators, where they have the logistics and everything, the Japanese team, to have an official letter of the cruise deferment. And then I've discussed with YPASM, and then I wrote an official letter to the CEO stating the cruise deferment, clarifying the condition of the unprecedented event. And then, so it's about rescheduling things. So what things to be considered during that time was this trial cruise in Japan. It was cancelled, but then I need to use the budget, the Antarctic cruise, and then the cost somehow increased for the COVID test in Malaysia and the COVID test in Australia, and also the 1-week quarantine in Australia. So, and also, of course, the whole project timeline is badly affected. But I think some of the other recipients has been very helpful. I remember I did ask, referred to Dr. Rahan on how to deal with this, and then it works, yes. And then I also refer to YPASM for help, and then they also give advice, and then I think YPASM handled these issues efficiently. And then, that I have this 1 year gap of doing nothing. So we decided to write a review article while waiting. So so the article was then fortunately published right after the cruise was completed. And then right after a year, and then dreams do come true after usaha, doa, and tawakal. Finally, after 12 years, I received the permissions of boarding the Umi Takamaru, although not Aurora Australis. It's also a ship to the Southern Ocean or the Antarctic Ocean. And then, for this, I'm not telling you the stories of the cruise, because if I'm telling that, I need another hour for that. And then these are, although I have these collaborations with NIPR, that in that cruise, there are also other scientists from other parties, and then also other undergraduates from the Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology. And then, flying Malaysia's flag in Antarctica, literally. So finally, just now I mentioned about asking sponsorship for my PhD student. So the NIPR have this sponsorship program, and then I did apply, and then we managed to get that. And then, since I collect the samples at the Southern Ocean, so things to be considered, I mean, things to have in mind is a permit to import conditionally the non-prohibited goods. And having things like bureaucracy of custom clearance to be sorted earlier is very crucial. For this part, my Australian team did their task very well. So they helped me with this. And then, finally, we get to take a photo, all of us together, because when I was in Japan during my postdoctoral studies, I didn't meet this collaborator from Japan. So it just based on email because it is recommended by my supervisor, if you still remember. So lab work carried out by my PhD student at IMS. So her 1 month stay at IMS was partially sponsored by International Center, UMT. So did some paperwork as well for this. Yep. Am I too fast or not? But yeah. So why this is one of the videos that I managed to get during the cruise. Why I like participating cruise, because I think you know how hectic the schedule is during on board, but whatever it is, I think whenever I'm on the sea, my ideas come in just like the current under the ocean. Yeah, so that was my journey in applying for 2022 research grant, securing international collaborators, handling obstacles, and experience in Kyoto Antarctic expeditions. I hope this helps, and I hope this benefits all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Huda. Any question to Dr. Huda?
Dr. Huda, can I ask you, as you were mentioning that we have to reply to the 80 questions that is marked by SCAR.
Yes.
So is it compulsory to that we need to answer those things and must relate to those things for our research grant?
As far as I'm concerned, that what has been advised by the NARC, and that what has been practiced by all the successful recipients. And then don't worry, I think of all that 80 questions, you don't have to answer all 80 questions. And of course, you're doing geoscience, right? You're on geoscience. Of course, there are several questions on geoscience that can be, that you can relate with your study. Yeah. Somehow it helps in writing your proposal.
Yeah. So we come to know that what are the loopholes that the work may be carried there. Okay. Thank you very much.
Can I add? Can I add? Maybe not on the SCAR 80 SCAR horizon scan. You must also try to fulfill our theme, because our next year for this cycle, this is our first time introducing a theme for application. So try to see which you can fit.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Any other question? Okay. Can we go to the third speaker? I invite Associate Professor Dr. Sahim Sujud to share about his experience.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all audience. Can you see my slide?
Yeah.
minute. Okay, so thank you, Panitan, and also thank you, YPASM, for giving me the opportunity to share my experience. So I'm Muhammad Zahim from University Malaysia Pahang Al Sultan Abdullah, UMPSA. So I'm the one among the 8 recipients of 2023. And so today I'm going to share my experience on applying for the YPSM grant. And I will focus more on the physical science or engineering area because I also from the electrical engineering. Actually, different from the two speakers, Dr. Rauhan and Dr. Huda, they got a lot of experience. I just knew with this grant. I just got the last year's, not the last year's, this year's grant. So my sharing is more focusing on how to get the collaborator and how to securing the research grant. So it began in January 2023 when the call for proposal was open and distributed through email. And when I saw the advertisement, I read it carefully and I realized that the proposal research or the project should relate to Antarctic. And I was taught that this very rare grant, and because I never know and heard it before, but I was excited to know further and interested to apply for it. And that time I was thinking that this is the opportunity for me to travel to the very far place and very cool region, you know. So then I attended the talk that provided by YPSM in UMPSA. Usually they have a route tour around Malaysia, I guess, or maybe not all in Malaysia, maybe a certain selected area. So they normally go to the university to promote their research grant. Actually, not only grant, they also have other programs, fellowship scheme, and also the birth support. Okay. After attended the talk by the YPSM in the end of January and for the beginning of February 2023, I got all the information about the grant and understood the requirements. But I focus on the data of possibility to get the grant, to make sure that I can get the grant or not. So based on the information, actually less than 10 recipients got the grant every year. And this is not so much. And 2023 is the highest number, which is 8 recipients. But among them, only 0 to 20% is from the physical science. So it's very small numbers. For example, you see in 2022, among the 5 recipients, all of them are biologists. There's no physical recipients. And in 2021, from the 6 recipients, only 1 from the physical science, and the rest is from biologists. Here, the 5 recipients is from biologists. So means that people may think that this statistical data show less potential to get the grant or the physical science. But for me, I have an opposite thinking. For me, this data shows a good chance actually. Of course, you have to write a good proposal and to fulfill all the requirement that required by the YPSM. And bear in mind that rezeki ada di mana-mana. Okay. Then, yeah, this is the 2023 recipients, the most highest year, 8 recipients, and among them only one from engineering. This is me. And actually, this year is a little bit interest because variety of field of study. There are also researchers from the remote sensing field, also from the AI field study, and also the atmospheric science from USM, and the rest is biotech and biology. So we can conclude that most of the recipients is from the biologists. Okay, then after have interest and willingness to apply for the grant, then go to the next step to develop the proposal and to fulfill all the requirements. I guess all researchers already expert in writing a proposal. We are usually follow the standard flow, process flow. The important thing is that the proposed research must in our own expert. This is very important. And we have done the project before. Maybe it was a different condition and different situation. But yes, it must be in our own expert area. Then we can start from finding a problem statement or research gap, and then what is the current issues in Antarctic or polar region. Then come out with the objective and solution where we can apply for our own specialist method. I think everyone have their own expertise, of course. So apply it to solve the problem statement or fill up the research gap. The solution that we propose must be realistic and doable in Antarctic. For example, if we want to obtain the data or sample for simulation or experiment in a certain constraint time, we must think that is it possible. Normally, the expedition to the polar region is during the summer period, and which is very short period between December to February every year. So we must thinking on the constraint of the time and also the other factors that is it realistic to apply or to implement our project there. So the researcher like me, I don't have any experience and I don't actually have any linkage with Antarctic researchers before. So I had faced a bit tough to get collaborator actually. I will share my experience that also. So in my case, I'm the renewable energy area, electrical engineering, and I'm focusing on solar photovoltaic and wind turbine. So at the beginning, I raised up many questions. I was thinking about what are there in Antarctic or polar region? Is there only snow or glacier there? And how about the environment? Is it very cold? Yes, of course, very cold. And how about the wind speed? Is it consistent over the year? Or is it changing drastically time by time or hour by hour or month by month? And how about the solar irradiance? Is it consistent the whole year? And how about electricity there? If there is a building there, how they get the electricity? So I need to see the polar region pictures, and I search in internet and to find the pictures of the Antarctic and the polar region, and also I looking for article that related to my expert. And Actually, there are many pictures of Antarctic in internet, but it was very difficult to find article or papers or journal that relate to renewable energy research in polar region. I think maybe because of not many researchers are involved in such area, and of course because of the location is very far from the home country. So this is some pictures that I took from internet, and I'm focusing on the power generation in several Antarctic station. So this power generation actually is used to supply electricity to the research station nearby, and most of the power generation are using diesel generator. We can see here they produce the CO2 carbon, and this actually could cause air pollution and affect the environment at Antarctic. So I found that this could be one of problem statement and critical issues in Antarctic. Okay, however, there is also station in Antarctic that installed with renewable energy. For example, I found two research station. One is the Princess Elizabeth Antarctic, the above picture, and another one is Australian Antarctic Research Station, the below picture. You can see here they installed with a small scale of wind turbine. This one, and this one also small scale, and this one also small scale. And their solar panel is not very much, just 2 rows only. Then from the literature review study, I found that they also got problems where the system is less efficient because of lacking on the design planning at the beginning. There was not considered the harsh environment during the design process. For example, they not considered the strong wind speed, the drastically changing of wind speed, for example, the limited solar irradiance, and many more factors. And then this map shows the main research station in Antarctic. So other than these two stations, maybe there are other stations that don't have renewable energy based power generation. Here you can see that more than 20, I think, more than 20 stations in Antarctic. So this is another opportunity for me to study the renewable energy based power generation there. And then I found also article, journal article and conference article that relate to my research area. So I share here 4 articles, and actually it's not many articles relate to renewable energy in Antarctic. Maybe the published article are less than 20 papers. And this articles is actually is very, very important for me because from here you can get information on the potential collaborator. You can know their name, for example, this one, Ling Zhang, their email address, the email, the name of universities that they work, and also the name of station. For example, in this paper, you can see that Antarctic and Southern Ocean Coalition, France, and also International Polar Foundation, Belgium. So this is very important information, especially the email address. So we can contact them through the email address, And I also have done the same. I sent them to these 4 papers that have the email address, and but unfortunately, no response at all. So maybe they are not interested to collaborate with unknown researchers, or maybe because the my proposed topics or project is not in their interest, maybe. Then I'm not giving up that time. I'm still Googling other research stations. And this time I'm focused on the new station that no complete facilities and have issue on the electricity. And then I found one article that almost matching my expectation. This one is not the published paper. It's not the journal. This is a article that published in internet. The name is Polar Journal, and they published in 2021 with the title "Turkey Planned Its Own Antarctic Station." So I saw this article and, or maybe this is the right station to contact with them. Then I sent email to them. They are TÜBİTAK Polar Research Institute, Turkey. They have a station at the Horseshoes Island, and they start active doing research in Antarctic from 2017. This is new actually. So I contacted them, and within 2 days they reply my email and said that they are interested to join the proposal, the project. And actually, that time was a good timing because they are also looking for an expert in renewable energy, because they plan to develop renewable energy power generation in their station at Horseshoe Island. Then start from that, we communicated almost every day, sometimes by online meeting, and then almost by WhatsApp, discussing on the proposal. And then they are very supportive and give full commitment in completing the proposal. And the proposal complete within 1 month. And then, yeah, this is the second page of the complete proposal. So you can see the detail of the project title, leaders, project duration, and so on, and the collaborators here. So what is important is actually title is also important. I mean the project title is important. So the project must be never done before. I mean in Antarctic, and it can contribute to the development of the station there, and also can while developing the research or the project must also protect the environment as well. And another thing important is LOI, letter of intents from the collaborator. So you must have at least one international collaborator, and I think 2 from local. So you have to have their LOI from all collaborators. So in this case, in my case, Dr. Erhan is from the Turkey. This is the very supportive researchers that help me very much. And then after complete your proposal, I think each university have their own screening process. So you have to present to the university and also reviewed by the university's panel. Then after done your correction and modification, you can submit to YPASM before the due date. Okay. Then just to share my own point of view on the potential research in physical science or engineering. I think it's not many researchers interest, especially the researchers from physical science or engineering. But actually, they have potential project or research that they can do in Antarctic. For example, number one, thermal or heat transfer uh, for the room or the lab heating system or for the water heater. For example, you can do a research on how to collect thermal from the sun radiation and to heat the building or the room or the lab and also the water there. So this is one potential research that you can do. And the second one, communication system. For example, antenna or short distance transmitter or receiver, because we cannot use our smartphone there, I think. I don't know. And so we need to have a alternative communication system there. Maybe the short distance system, such as a walkie-talkie or other advanced system. And then the data transfer from the weather station to the lab, maybe using develop the advanced system so that the researcher no need to go outside to collect the data. And also the third one is forecasting method, artificial intelligence based method, for example, to predict the climate change, to predict the solar irradiance, to predict the wind speed, temperature, and so on, to predict what will happen for the next day or next 2 day or next month and next year, so that people there can plan their daily activities properly. For example, when they predict wind gusts for the next 3 hours from the time, so they can avoid the wind gusts by staying inside the building and so on. So actually I'm listed here three, but it's actually not limited to these issues only. You can find out many more topics that related to engineering as well. So yeah, I think that's all for me. And I hope that this actually it's a small experience that could benefit others. And have a nice time to preparing your proposal. All the best and thank you very much. That's all from me. And I'm pass back to Wan Intan. Wan Intan?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Zahim. Any question from
Yeah.
the regis? Any
If
question?
if anyone interested to see my proposal, you can contact me later on and we can discuss also on physical science or engineering.
Because you are the only recipient today that is
Yeah.
physical sciences. By looking at the registration link that we shared before, I think not most, but there's quite a number of physical participant that is from physical sciences.
Mhm.
Hmm. Question. Any question? To Dr. Zahim or to Dr. Rahman or Dr. Huda?
Puan Intan,
Yeah.
maybe I can add from what Dr. Zahim mentioned just now about the telecommunication in Antarctic base station. Actually, it depends on the station really. For example, but I think in general there should be no problem to use a mobile phone, but not a 3 or 4G or anything, but it's Wi-Fi or WhatsApp. You can WhatsApp to your family at home, back home. And in Korean station, they have fast enough internet speed for you to be able to make video call, but you have to be considerate to other people as well. So don't use the to make video call during peak hours. I normally made video call in 2013. There was no WhatsApp video at that time, so made a Skype call around 7 o'clock in the morning when everyone hasn't woke up. So there shouldn't be any problem. So it's not too bad in Antarctica actually.
Okay. Any more questions before we end the session today? Maybe I can share the question from Dr. Arindam, which I already replied on the chat box, but let me explain further. He asked, averagely, how many applications will YPASM receive in the category for research grant, just to get some idea on the successful rate. Okay, actually, the obligation of YPASM to fund, to award each university with any one of the funding available. We have research grant, fellowship scheme, and also burst support every year in rotational basis. But of course, it will also depends on the number of application received. Let's say if we don't have any fellowship scheme or burst support application or no merit application, so we cannot award them. So we will convert the amount of funding to go to research grant, just like what happened in last year. We have 8 research grant recipients and none of the fellowship and the support recipient of that year. So please don't be afraid. I understand that some of you guys might think like, oh, then you just apply for research grant and you don't have to apply for fellowship scheme or the support. No, you just apply all category that we offered, because in some years, if we have extra funding as well as a merit application, we will fund more than one category to that particular university. Okay.
So each applicant can apply in only one category. Like if I apply in research grant, I cannot apply in the fellowship.
Is it in the same year?
Yeah, in the same year, I'm asking.
Can, but you can only be awarded with one category in the same year.
Okay. And from one university, only one project, like if like the merit of the projects, like you have two or three good projects from maybe from one university, so you will be awarding only one research grant from one university only, or
Mostly
it
yes,
doesn't matter.
only
One.
one for research grant. But if we have any other application for the other two category, which is fellowship scheme and the support, we will try to award more than one. It is possible to award more than one, depending on the funding available.
Okay, but for the research category, only one you will be awarding. That's maximum.
Yeah, but also depends on
Fund.
it, actually in some years there are university that with no recipient because of the merit and of course the number of proposal submitted. So we will carry forward the quota to the next years until at the end of the cycle. In one cycle there are 5 years. So let's say in the second year this particular university there are no recipients, so we carry forward the quota
Next
until
year.
the 5th year of the cycle. So now we are in the third year, yeah. We are in the third year of the cycle. So it is possible for us to award more than one.
But for the new researchers, like I have only one paper related to the polar studies, but I'm pretty new to the field. So if I apply working there for the fund, so I think I will be much lower than who have already working only on the Antarctics and all. So does that matter for the when there is evaluation?
It depends. It also depends on your project.
Okay, not the previous work more that we have done or not.
No, it depends on the project itself. And of course, your background will also affect. So that's why you need a strong team,
Okay.
strong team members in your project to support.
Okay. Thank you very much for the information today.
No problem. Any more question? It's 4 p.m. now. If there are no more questions, can we spend some time to have a group photo? And I will email the link of our YouTube video recording after this event to all registered email. Can you turn on your camera? Dr. Japareng, camera on. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hi. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much and good luck.
All right, thank you, Intan.
Thank you.